Today I'm going to be sharing with you 7 ways to grow your email list and nurture your online yoga community. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about email marketing and email lists. So what I want to say here, what I want to start with is that when you have an email list, you can make money in your yoga business at any time, okay? As long as you have something that's valuable that you can offer to the people on your list. So let me just repeat that. When you have an email list, you can make money in your yoga business at any time, as long as you have something of value to offer. So can you imagine the peace of mind that that brings? Like knowing that at any time, if you have something that's viable, right? You have a viable offer, and the way that you have a viable offer is you understand what your community needs, you can make money. What we need to understand is that social media will never be as powerful, and people flow in and out of social media, and they often just leave the platforms altogether. So think about your own behavior. Maybe you've had a little break on social media, and in comparison to that, if you go and Google this, but people check their inbox on average 15 times a day. Okay, so if you can continue to offer value in your emails, and we'll talk about that today, then you can continue to show up in people's inbox. Okay, so this is really, your email list actually becomes the foundation of your business, right? And when you compare it to social media and in relation to actually making sales, making money in your business, the return on investment is so much bigger than social media if you do it right, okay? If you do your email marketing right. Growing your audience on social media, which is where most yoga teachers start when they're starting to grow their business. When you do that, when you just focus on social media, what happens when Facebook and Instagram decide to change their algorithm, which they do often, right? What happens when one of the platforms shuts down, which in the last 6 months that happened, right? Things are changing constantly on these platforms. So never ever just build your business on social media. I like to call it rented land. It really is rented land. And that's exactly what you're doing when you start to make, when you start to put all of your efforts on social, on Instagram and Facebook. It really is rented land, guys. And the rules on this rented land can change at any time. You don't own that land, but you do own your email list, okay? And that's the difference here. Your email list is yours, right? Your email list is yours. So that's why it's really incredibly important to make sure that you build your business on solid ground that you own, okay? AKA your email list. You own your email list. So I know that there's huge resistance with this. So I know there's huge resistance, and maybe you are worried about annoying people. Yeah, you're worried about that if you send too many emails, people are going to unsubscribe. Or perhaps you're just not sure, if you're going to have enough information and content to send to them each week. Maybe you just don't know where to start, and that's quite often, the most common objection that I hear from teachers is they just don't know where to start, and the tech just feels too difficult, too complicated to get it set up. So what I'll say here is the place that you start is with an email service provider, okay? It's an ESP, right? An email service provider. That's exactly where you start. And maybe for those of you who have 0 people on your email list because you don't have it set up yet, this is the #1 place to start, hands down. Okay, you need to set up your email list inside an email service provider. And this is actually the first way to grow your email list. So today I'm actually sharing with you 7 ways to grow your email list. And this is the first way. We need to have an email service provider. okay? Especially if you are starting from the beginning. You know, in order to be able to grow your list, you need to have this piece of technology, this piece of software. And that's really what it is, okay? It's simply an email platform that hosts your email list and supports all of your email marketing efforts. So it gives you the tools and the functionality to be able to grow your list. So that's what an email service provider is. It's really just a piece of software that gives you the functionality to add forms onto your website, to collect those emails in, to you know, send out the weekly emails, to send out or to organize or set up automations and tagging. So you need to decide, you know, where you want to have those forms on your website. You need multiple forms. Don't just have it on your homepage. You need to be on your blog. It needs to be at the footer. Maybe you have a pop-up. You need multiple ways on your website to be able to collect email addresses. And the way you do this is by having an email service provider. Okay, so that might be MailChimp. That's a really common one. It might be MailerLite. Maybe it's something a little bit more technical like ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign. So they are definitely some of the platforms that, you know, teachers inside our programs are using. I really do recommend looking at MailerLite if you're starting from scratch and you want to keep the budget down. MailerLite actually offers you, I think it's free for up to 1,000 subscribers, but the difference with MailChimp, and I think MailChimp is roughly the same amount, it might be 1,500 subscribers on MailChimp, but the difference, the key difference is that MailerLite allows you to set up an automated email sequence. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But you want that, and it allows you to set it up for free, okay? So in MailChimp, you have to pay for that feature. So go and have a look at MailerLite. They have tons of really short instructional videos on the website to help you to get it set up. There's no reason, guys, why you shouldn't be able to do this. They have really easy videos that you can follow. All you need to do is put the time there, right? You need to just invest some time and some headspace, you know, make sure you've got no distractions, and just to really concentrate and follow those videos and get it set up, okay? We want to move past any of resistance that we have around this, because, you know, let me just be really, really clear about this and straightforward. You know, I'm always going to be straightforward and say how it is, but whatever is holding you back, you must grow your email list. Yeah, it's really part of, you know, how you do business as a, or how you do business online as a yogipreneur, okay? It's part of your business. And when you have it in place, your business and building your business is actually so much easier, because now you have this email list that you can share your offers with, okay? And it doesn't have to be a big email list either, okay? You can have a small email list and really just nurture those people on your email list and make money, okay? So at the very basic level, this is how you grow your email list. This is how you start. You need your email service provider. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, number two, let's move on. So let's step it up a notch now. Let's like up level. How are we going to grow our list? We've got our email service provider there. What are we going to do next? You need a freebie, okay? You've probably heard me talk about this before, but you need a piece of content that you can exchange for an email address. And, you know, this is a freebie that you really need to create with your ideal student in mind, okay? So, you know, you need to know who you're serving, essentially, is what I'm saying there. And, you know, with your freebie, it wants to be valuable, okay? So, you know, a PDF or a checklist just doesn't cut it anymore. It really doesn't. You need to create something of value, something like, you know, a bundle of, you know, short videos, or, you know, a bundle of audio meditations, or perhaps there's some journal prompts there. But really think about how you can create a bundle of content that you can send out over a number of days. And that's where that automated email sequence that I mentioned, that you get for free in MailerLite, that's where that comes into play. So you really want to be creating something for your ideal student that's really going to help them to achieve some kind of quick win, right? Related to any challenges or related to the desire that they have for themselves. Okay, that's really important. So this isn't just, a sending out a morning flow and calling it a day. Who specifically is that morning flow for? And have you made it super clear in the copy on your website and the theming of that content who it's for? Because it's okay if it's a short 10-minute morning flow for new mums to use when their baby is sleeping, right? It's kind of really specific for that for that specific person. It's 10 minutes because we know new mums don't have a lot of time. It speaks to that person. So really think about, what it is that you're creating and who it's for. Maybe it's a 3-day, I don't know, let me have a think. It's a 3-day, transform your trauma, right? Mini course with meditations and breath work and practices that are going to help people to release something from their body, release something from their mind. Maybe it has, journal prompts, it has affirmations in it. Maybe your ideal student has experienced some kind of trauma, some kind of abuse or something in their life, and that's really specific and is going to help them. Okay, so really think about that. It's really, really important. And yeah, so it needs to be specific, it needs to be valuable. And the reason for that, guys, is because people won't give you their email address if it's not. It's as simple as that. If you've got a freebie right now and nobody's signing up for it, I want you to be really honest with yourself. Is it specific and is it valuable enough for somebody to spend the time to give you their email address, but not only that, to allow you into their inbox, right? It's this kind of sacred digital space, and we don't just let anybody into our inbox. Okay, so if it's, if right now you've got like a posture breakdown on a PDF, you need to go back to the drawing board, because that's just not going to cut it anymore. It really isn't. If it's a standalone general yoga class, again, go back to the drawing boards. This stuff, like marketing and your content always starts with who you're serving, right? What is the problem or the need, and how are you solving it? You guys are building a business, okay? And business is about solving problems. It's about providing solutions. So you really need to know who you're serving. So that's just a little reminder. So where are we? We've said number 1, set up your email service provider. Number 2 is your freebie. It's specific, it's valuable, okay? Number three, and this might sound obvious, but it doesn't always happen. It isn't something that people always do, and it's to share the freebie everywhere. Okay, so you've got your freebie. What do you do with it now? And one of the things that I hear time and time again from teachers, or I have a little conversation and they say, well, I've got my freebie, no one's signing up for it. And then I ask, well, are you sharing it consistently? Are you talking about it? Oh, no, I haven't done that. It's just on my website. There you go. Okay. So this is actually one of the biggest issues that can occur. Having a freebie and then not sharing it. And I think the reason for this is because, there's this belief that people will tune out if you start mentioning it all the time. And here's the thing, if you don't feel like you sound like a broken record, then you're not sharing your freebie enough. Okay, if you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've talked about this now multiple times this week, people are going to get fed up, that's probably what you're telling yourself, that's the belief. However, here's how you switch that up. Here's how you flip that belief on its head. You become creative about how you share it, okay? Because you do need to sound like a broken record. However, you need to be mindful about how you're sharing it. And if you show up on stories every day and you just say, hey, I've got a freebie, go and get it, then yes, your followers might start to tune out. So what I want you to do instead is look for ways to be creative, like create content that naturally leads people into, or naturally leads into you talking about how someone can find out more through your freebie. So this type of content is what I call indirect content, and it's more subtle, right? It might start with you sharing a story, or it might start with you sharing a tip or an insight, and then your call to action is the freebie. Okay, so you share the value first, and then you say, hey, you can go and learn more about this in my blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, give it a snazzy name, that bundle of content that's for that specific person and is truly valuable. So just have a little think, guys, about how, or have a think about, you know, where you can, or where it makes sense to mention your freebies. So stories, you know, on lives, if you do a live video like I'm doing now, you know, or on your podcast, you can talk about the freebie at the end, okay? So have a think about that and just be really intentional about how you share it. And the best way to be intentional is to have a plan. So plan it out, you know, be intentional. Tell yourself, or, you know, write it down, put it into your plan, how many times you're going to share your freebie this week, how many times you're going to talk about it, where are you going to talk about it. Number 4, okay, the 4th way to grow your email list is to leverage your network. Okay, so just have a think about how you can work with your network, and specifically who you can work with in your network, in your space, that might be able to share your freebie with their audience. Okay, so for this to work, right, for this to work, you need a landing page. Okay, so we've got our email service provider already set up, and that's going to give you the functionality to set up those opt-in boxes on your website. So that when someone visits your website, they have a place to sign up to your freebie. However, when you're working with a partner, the collaboration that you create is essentially, it's external to your website. Okay, so therefore you need to create a standalone web page. Okay, so it's called a landing page, and on this page, that has its own unique URL, because if you think about the boxes on your website, they don't have a unique URL, but this landing page has its own unique URL which you can share, okay? And it's just going to talk about your freebie, and it's going to have a little box there where people can sign up for it. So you need a landing page. So the way this works is, you know, if you are, let's say one of your collaborations is that you are creating a blog post for another website, and it's a website that's read by your target market, by your ideal student. At the end of that post, you can share a link to your landing page to help drive traffic to that landing page to grow your email list. Now, the difference here is that if you share a link to your website, there's more chance that people are going to go on your website, and there's lots of options there. They can go and have a look at all the options on the top navigation. They're going to click on different things. Maybe they'll just leave. Okay, so the goal here is to grow your email list. So we just want to send people to a page that's just where the only thing they can do, the only call to action, is to add their email to your list. Okay, so you know, the more partnerships you do, the more opportunities you have to share that landing page. So it's a really good strategy and a really good way to grow your list. Okay, number 5 is to use paid ads. Okay, use paid ads. Anybody doing this at the moment? Has any of you guys, have you started using Facebook ads? So I really recommend doing this. I really encourage you to do this when you are running some kind of live event, such as a challenge, such as an online challenge, or maybe you've created an online summit, or you're running a webinar, whatever it might be, but something that's going to create some kind of buzz, because you're attracting a number of people at the same time to come and join this live event on a specific date. Okay, so the great thing about this is you can run targeted ads to that landing page that you've already set up and created. Now, this is an investment well made, especially if you are launching a paid offering, such as a workshop or a retreat or an online course at the end of the free event. Because what you want to do is you want to get as much traffic into that free event at the start. So you want to front load your funnel so that there's lots of people that have come through the free event who then can discover how they can work with you inside your paid offering. So don't discount this, okay? You know, as a business owner, you should be investing time in growing free organic traffic. Okay, I did a podcast episode on this not too long ago. But also building your traffic through paid strategies as well. Okay, so take a look at that. It's a really great way to drive targeted traffic to that landing page and help you to grow your email list. It's just a really great way to boost the traffic and to really boost what you're doing. And it works so well if you're doing all of this kind of organic strategies as well, or you're using strategies to grow your organic traffic. So it works really well together. Okay, number 6. Okay, so we're going to move now. We're going to move this to the nurturing aspect of email marketing. What I want to make really, really clear here, and this is why email marketing is so powerful. Not only does it allow you to grow your community, but also it's a really, really effective way to actually build the relationships with those people in your community and to build trust. Okay, so we nurture the people that you've attracted onto your list, and we nurture them into loyal students and ultimately paying students. Okay, so nurturing leads to conversion. Okay, so we want to convert people on our email list into paying students, and we do that by nurturing the relationships. Okay, it's one of the best ways to do this through your email marketing. So one of the best ways to nurture those relationships is to set up a welcome email sequence. Okay, it's one of the best ways. So your welcome email sequence is actually connected to the freebie that we've already talked about. So as soon as somebody signs up for that freebie, they're going to receive a welcome email. And welcome emails can have open rates up to around 90%. Imagine that, okay? On average, your emails overall will have an email open rate of around 20%. Anything over 20% is like super, super good. So you might be thinking 20%, that doesn't seem that much. However, you know, if you think about the organic reach on Instagram, which is less than 1%, and Facebook, I think is around 2%, a 20% open rate is super, super good, okay? So your email welcome sequence allows you to actually automate a number of emails to go out over a number of days as soon as somebody has actually signed up to receive your freebie. So this is why having a freebie that's a content bundle, i.e. maybe it might be, you know, that video series that you a series of videos that you send out over a number of days, you can automate that, okay? And it becomes part of your welcome sequence. And that's a really, really effective way to actually train people, okay? Train people to open your emails, okay? And it's a great way to build trust from the very, very start of this relationship that you're building. So, you know, don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid that you're going to be just showing up in someone's inbox, you know, a number of times, multiple times in a week or in over a number of weeks. You want to be doing that. You actually want to be doing that. So this is, as I said, one of the most effective ways to build trust and to really get that relationship moving from the offset, from the get-go. So great way to nurture, really, really a great way to nurture. The final way, the final strategy, guys, that I'm sharing with you today Number 7 is to send a weekly email. Okay, to send a weekly email. So again, you might be thinking, well, I'm going to annoy people if I'm in their inbox every single week, or I don't have enough content. Like, what am I going to share with them week after week? And of course, this comes down to your content. It really, really does. It comes down to you, you know, spending the time to create valuable content that you can share with your community every single week. And you should be doing that, guys. You should be doing that. Like, you should be carving out time every week to create content, right? Carve out time every single week to create content. And when you do that, you then have content to share with your email subscribers. So I've shared a lot of resources on this. Go and check out the podcast for episodes on content creation. It's super, super important. Like, if you're not creating content every single week, you're not really wearing the hat of a business owner. Okay, so again, be honest with yourself, guys. Be honest with yourself. Are you doing this? One way to really establish if you are doing this is, you know, is to identify if you have this problem. Okay, and the problem is, are you getting to, you know, Monday morning and then sitting down and thinking, sugar, what am I going to share this week on social media? I don't know what I'm going to share this week. And then maybe wasting a good few hours scrolling other people's feeds, you know, trying to piece together what you might share, and then looking at it and it doesn't really feel authentic and aligned. Is that you? Because if it is, then you don't have, right now, you don't have a content strategy. So if that's you, I really encourage you to go and take a look at Super Yogi, because I teach you inside that online course how to create your content so that that scenario that I just mentioned never happens. Okay? Really important. Your content underpins everything that you do, and part of that is your email list. It's your email marketing. Okay, so there you go, guys. I've shared 7 ways with you today to grow and nurture your email list, and to grow your email list and to nurture your online community. The first one was to create or to set up your email service provider. The second is to create your freebie. The third is to share that freebie. Make sure you sound like a broken record. That's definitely what you want to be doing, so that you share it everywhere. The fourth is to leverage your network and to look at collaborations where you can share your freebie. The fifth is to use paid ads specifically for any live freebie events that you are running. Number 6 was to set up your welcome email sequence so that you can really work on building trust at the get-go. And then finally, to ensure that you're sending a weekly email and showing up in their inbox week after week. Remember that if someone has given you their email address, they want to hear from you. It's as simple as that. They want to hear from you. So don't do them a disservice, and don't do yourself a disservice by not showing up in their inbox with valuable content that's going to continue to nurture that relationship and build trust. Now imagine this, you know, someone is, you know, like maybe you're a teacher who runs retreats. Yeah, maybe you run retreats, and someone's thinking, you know what, I really want to go on a yoga holiday. I really want to get away. I haven't been able to get away for the last couple of years, and yoga retreats really something that I love going on. And, you know, they're thinking about who they might go on a yoga retreat with. Who do you think that they are going to consider? The yoga teacher who's been showing up in their inbox week after week, yeah, with valuable content, or the yoga teacher whose list they signed up for that they haven't heard from for the last 3 months, or it's a sporadic email every now and again with disjointed content. Who do you think they're going to, whose yoga retreat do you think they're going to book? Okay, and it goes for any offering that you are putting out there. You know, the more front of mind you can remain, the more opportunities you have to convert your community into paying students. So I hope this has inspired you. If you don't have an email list, you're starting from zero. Let's get started. And if you do have an email list, it's just time to ignite that email list. That's all it is. Okay, we can always get started. Every day is a fresh day to start again. So sending you lots of love, guys. I've really enjoyed connecting with you today. And I have something coming up for you guys, which I'm super excited about. It's going to launch on Friday, and it's a 3-day immersion that's happening at the end of January, at the end of the month. Well, this is the most affordable way to learn with me in a live container in 2022. Okay, so send me a message, guys. I can't wait. I'm so excited to reveal this on Friday. But sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get those email lists rocking. All right, love you. Bye.